About the importance of socialization. So, if we talk about socialization as a core definition, actually, if we want to be a good social actor, we need to have a very good socialization. Actually, socialization play a vital role in to formulate ourselves as a good social actor. And this is all about our nurturing. But on the other hand, we are having, if you want to again pieces ले लो, social actor आ गया. On the other hand, if we talk about this phenomena, like individual behavior is dependent on whom. Let's suppose if we talk about individual behavior, so let's suppose we are having this individual here, not here, here, not here, here. Okay. If you want if you want to create him as a good social actor, and if you want something different from him, so there are two social forces which are going to create an impact on him. And number one is nature, which is all about genetics, or you can say instinct also. And another social force is nurture, which is all about socialization. So this is a core phenomena whenever we talk about a good social actor, or whenever we talk about the socialization on a human behavior. So we need to talk about two basic things. There is a nature versus nurture debate. So this is our core topic. Some sociologists assume that biology rather than our culture develops an individual behavior. Like we can say biology rather than culture. Rather, culture may create an impact on individual behavior. Like if we talk about so many animal species, and they all are biological programmed, and they are acting as per the instinct, and that instinct is based on biological programming. So we can say this thing that there is something which is called biological programming, and this biological programming may create an impact in the form of instinct, and that instinct may lead towards an action of an individual. Like I can say one thing, so many girls are having so many instincts related to mothering, or you can say the expressive role, and that particular instinct, some sociologists assume that there is no close link of instinct with the genetics. Okay, but some sociologists assume that there is a close linkage between the genetics and instinct. So that instinct may create an action in the form of expressive role. So this is a core phenomena. Like those sociologists who assume that the nature is the most important element to develop an individual behavior, to formulate an individual behavior, they assume that the biology rather than culture develops some sort of instinct, and that instinct may lead towards an action. Some sociologists assume that instinct is a fixed human feature. There is nothing linked with your culture, your environment related to your instinct. So they assume that instincts are totally independent, and that instinct may eventually lead towards an impact on our actions or our behavior. So many sociologists assume that the nature gives us a strong hint about the environmental practices, how to act in this particular environment, and that action or that instinct may create impact on our individual's behavior. Okay. Those sociologists who assume that individual action or individual behavior is a product of nature or instinct or genetics, they assume that if you talk about the impact of genes or impact of nature, The biological programming create a direct impact on instinct, and that instinct is going to create in our human behavior. And sometimes individual instinct, or sometimes due to free will, individual may ignore that particular instinct and perform as per his own will, or sometimes is not going to perform socially expected behavior by not following the expected behavior. Sometimes individual may not follow that particular expected behavior by just rejecting the instinct, and what they used to do, they just reject that particular instinct and they do whatever they want to do. So this is also sort of something which is also, we used to call it a free will. Okay, so if we move forward, we are having so many case studies that may prove this phenomenon that individual behavior is not a product of nature. It is a core product of there are so many case studies which proves that individual behavior is not a product of the instinct or nature. It is a core product of nurturing. Actually, individual learns so many instinct, or individual learns so many attributes and capabilities by just socializing with other people. Now we need to understand one of the most important case study, or one of the most important thing to understand, and that is all about feral children. The feral children are the children which we used to call them the under socialized children. So children with inappropriate socialization. So these individuals are having inappropriate socialization just because of what? These individuals are having inappropriate socialization because due to so many reasons. Sometimes they may socialize with the monkeys. Sometimes they're not able to socialize with the parents well due to child abuse or so many things. So first of all, right now we are going to talk about this case study. Now we are going to talk about the case study of Saturday Matheen. Saturday Matheen, she was a 5-year-old girl. We found this girl back in 1987. She was just 5 years old, and we just found this girl in South Africa. She was living with a pack of monkeys. If you assume this thing, if you are having upbringing with the monkeys, rather than walking, there's a most probably you are climbing. Just assume this thing. If you are having an upbringing with monkeys, rather than walking, most probably you just are climbing. So it's a very simple phenomena that individual used to learn how to walk, how to talk by just mixing with the culture, interacting with the culture, by just socialization or having so many nurturing. So we are having another case study of a genie back in 1970, and she was just 13 years old Californian girl. And what was the problem? She is a case of child abuse. What happened? She was actually isolated, and what happened? अच्छा एक सेकेंड, यहाँ से लेना यार, इनकी तस्वीरें अगर तुम्हें मिल जाए ना इंटरनेट से तो इनको ज़रा सा निकाल लेना, ठीक है? अच्छा, what happened with what happened with Jeannie? Jeannie was isolated in a small room and had not been spoken to by her parents since infancy. Just imagine this thing. If someone is not going to contact you, someone is not going to talk to you, how you are able to learn the language? Because all these instincts also are dependent on our environment and culture. If we are having good environment and culture, it may result into our instinct or our action or behavior. So the feral children case also proved this idea, like due to socialization, individual action or behavior formulated. With the help of socialization, we are able to learn a distinct feature of each and every society. Each and every societies are having different sort of greetings. How you are able to know this thing, that this person is going to greet me? Like if you talk about UAE, the people used to call them marhaba. If you talk about Thailand, the people used to say Swadika. If you are talking about Pakistan, the people used to say Assalamu alaikum. If you talk about India, the people used to say Namaste. So what is this all about? This is all about a phenomena while we need to understand this core concept, like with the help of our socialization, we are able to learn the distinct feature of our society, like how to act in an appropriate way, and what if I am going to act in this way, what would be the meaning of this particular action. So this is a core scenario, like how to wear. Actually, we used to learn particularly the norms with the help of socialization, like how to dress, how to eat, how to talk. These are the core norms which we used to learn with the help of socialization. So afterwards we are having very good theory. This theory is called I and me theory. यार कट लगाना जरा सा, ये देख, मैं इसको पीछे से ले लेता हूँ। ये तुम अपने पास से यहाँ से मैंने वहाँ से ऑडियो लगा के यहाँ से इसको मैच कर लेना। ये मैं पूरा लिखता हुआ जा रहा हूँ ताकि तुम्हें मिलता रहे। सिंबॉलिक इंटरेक्शंस वाली बात आ जाएगी और फिर ये so the most important thing of this theory is all about the theories related to the self. Okay, so if we talk about self-awareness is all about an instinctive process actually, and it's more about the idea, like we can say this thing according to George Mead. This is the instinctive human skill which may develop. If you want to know about yourself, you need to interact with the people, then you are able to know more about yourself. So according to George Mead, the self-awareness is an instinctive human skill, and which eventually you are able to understand more about yourself, and you are able to know about you are able to gain more self-awareness. So if we move forward, there are two core aspects of the self actually. If we talk about the self, you can say the self-awareness, or we can say it's all about an awareness of who we are. So this is all about the self, and actually there are two basic aspects of the self. Number one is all about an I aspect. An I aspect is all about our opinion of ourselves, as a whole. And we used to call it, the George Mead called it unsocialized self. This is all about our internal feeling, like this sort of I don't need any sort of interaction. Okay, this is all about your natural instinctive feeling. Okay, the second aspect of the self is all about a me aspect. This is all about awareness of how others expect us to behave. This is all about an awareness of how others expect us to behave. We used to call it, George Mead called it social self. So this is all about the idea of ourself. Actually, let's take an example. Let's suppose you put your hand within a fire. So what would be your reaction? Let's suppose if you talk about an I aspect, it means your I will definitely say this thing to cry, to scream, to say this and that. But sometimes your me aspect may create an impact on you, and there are so many questions about yourself. Let's suppose if you are at your home, it means most probably if you are a child you may cry, if you are an adult then you can scream, but if you are at the formal place you will try to hold your tears actually. So this is all about your instincts. It means your me aspect, awareness of how others expect us to behave. It means if you are at an official place, if you put your hand in the fire, you just try to hold your tears, you need to be firm enough. Okay, let's talk about the same scenario. Let's suppose you are with the friends. Most probably your friends may laugh, and your friends may say so many things to you that what you have done, rather than supporting you, they may create a fun of you. It is most probably, this is also because of, most probably you will not feel bad with the friends if they are laughing and making fun of you, because this is more about our social environment. Again, I'm going back, and we need to understand this thing, what we have discussed till now. There is an impact of human behavior. There is an impact of social context on human behavior. It means our human behavior is dependent on our social context. So this is a core phenomena of I and me theory. अच्छा यार, इसके अंदर ना एडिट किया हुआ क्या करना है, आई एंड मी थ्योरी को अलग कर देना और उससे पहले वाला फेरल चिल्ड्रन तक वाले पार्ट को अलग कर देना. सही है. आई एंड मी वाली थ्योरी जो है वो आ जाएगी. आई एंड मी वाली थ्योरी जो है अलग से आएगी, फिर इसका नेक्स्ट स्टेप आएगा. Hi everyone, this is Abdullah Shah Mead. Welcome to my video lectures. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about one of the most important topic of chapter number 1A, Sociology, that is all about presentation of self. In today's topic, we are going to talk about how individuals used to present themselves in front of others and what would be the impact of our socialization and our social context on our presentation. So first of all, if we talk about presentation of self, first we need to understand this thing: the self is developed and constructed socially. It means it depends on our society, on our social context. It means the society construct ourselves. The society construct ourselves. It is not by our own self. The society used to construct ourselves. So we can see so many people. Let's suppose some people may migrate from one place to another place. They may have so many differentiated attributes once they migrate from one place to another place. Actually, the self is constructed as per their new society. First of all, we are having Goffman approach. Goffman is one of the most important sociologists to understand the presentation of self. According to Goffman, our sense of identity is constructed socially. Our sense of identity constructed socially. It means how we present ourselves to others. It means this is all about our social construct, our environment, our culture developed our sense of identity, who we are, how to act, how to react. All these things are dependent on our society. So if we move forward, the Goffman approach, Goffman have given a model of self and identity. And according to Goffman, our social life as a series of dramatic episodes. Actually, our social life is a series of dramatic episodes. Sometimes the people are actors. Actually, sorry, pieces sometimes I do. Actually, people are actors. Sometimes they speak their own lines. It means they are having some sort of free will. Okay, they are having personal identity, and sometimes they speak as per external influences. It means sometimes they speak as per the social forces, as per the culture, as per the external influence. So this is all about the idea, like we can say this thing, sometimes we are going to follow our own self, our I, and sometimes we are following our me. Or you can say that sometimes they speak as per the external influence and sometimes they speak their own lines. It means there is sort of personal identity and there is something external influence. So according to Goffman model of self and identity, social life is a series of dramatic episodes, and the people are actors. Sometimes they speak their own lines and sometimes they are going to follow the external influences. The same phenomena were given by the Cooley back 1909, and this is all about the looking glass self theory. Let's suppose this. I'm going to explain you this theory in a simple words. Like society is just like a mirror. Society is just like a mirror, and individual who used to look into the society. Actually, this is the society is a reflection of individual ourselves. It means पीछे से ले लो दोबारा से मैंने मैच कर दिया यहाँ से. Society is just like a mirror, and ourself is a reflection of our society. Society is just like a mirror. Okay, whatever is our reflection, we can see within our people's attitude and within our society. So, according to looking glass self theory, the people are like a mirror, reflecting ourselves as others see us. Okay, the people are like a mirror, reflecting ourselves as others see us. Let's suppose whenever I'm going to see the mirror, a mirror is going to show my reflection. So the people's attitude is all about my reflection, my attitude's reflection, my identity reflection. So the presentation of self involves the importance of interpretation first, the importance of interpretation, how I am going to interpret that particular self, and the significance of negotiation. It means there is sort of negotiation. At some time you are going to say this thing, that this representation is fine, and you are going to say this representation is not fine. So this is all about our presentation of self, how we are going to present ourselves. If I am going to just conclude in 1 or 2 lines, sometime our self is a representation of our inner side or our free will, or sometime our self is a true representation of our society. So we can say this thing, our self and identity is socially constructed, or we can say this thing, it is derived by the culture, or it is derived by the external influence. So I hope you enjoy this lecture. See you in the next video.